Number 7. Vienna sausages. Nostalgia with a side of trouble. Crack open a can of Vienna sausages and the sharp metallic scent hits immediately. It's a familiar pantry staple, but beneath the nostalgia lies a serious risk, especially for older adults. One small can can pack over 1,000 milligrams of sodium, nearly a full day's limit for those with high blood pressure. And reduced sodium labels? They're often just 25% lower, not low. To make matters worse, some brands replace salt with potassium chloride, which can be dangerous for anyone with kidney issues or on certain meds. Vienna sausages are also low-acid foods, making them more prone to botulism if sealing fails, a rare but deadly risk. Packaging raises more red flags. Many cans still use BPA or its chemical cousins, which come with hormone concerns. Add nitrites, phosphates, and questionable linings, and that quick meal becomes a long-term health hazard. For older adults, the damage builds quietly. Blood pressure, kidneys, and more, all under strain. Number 6. Canned tuna, the silent heavyweight. Pop open a can of tuna, drain the brine, and you've got a quick, protein-packed meal. Or so it seems. Tuna has long been a go-to for easy lunches, but hidden dangers make it less friendly than it appears, especially for older adults. Mercury is the first red flag. Albacore tuna carries nearly 3 times more mercury than light tuna. It builds up over time in the brain and kidneys, raising the risk of cognitive decline, tremors, and blood pressure issues. All serious concerns for those over 60 or on chronic medications. Tuna also brings another surprise, histamine. If the fish wasn't kept cold enough after being caught, it can cause reactions that feel like allergies. Rapid heartbeat, flushing, nausea. Botulism is rare but deadly, and even one factory slip can make canned tuna a silent threat. And while many cans are labeled BPA-free, substitutes like BPS or BPF may not be any safer. The omega-3s are great, but the risks? Not so hidden anymore. Number 5. Canned soup. Comfort food or chemical stew? There's something about soup in a can that feels safe, familiar, like a warm hug on a cold day. Tomato, chicken noodle, beef stew, just heat and eat. But that comfort comes with a cost that many older adults never see coming. Start with sodium. A single serving of condensed tomato soup, just half a cup, can clock in at around 480 milligrams. But who stops at half a cup? A full bowl brings the count closer to 1,000 milligrams, and richer varieties like chicken noodle or creamy chowders often hit even higher. For those watching blood pressure, that one bowl is practically a full day's allowance. And reduced sodium versions? Again, that only means 25% less. Not low, just lower. To make up for the drop in salt, some companies add potassium chloride. That potassium salt that might be okay for the young and healthy, but can be downright dangerous for those on kidney medications or AC inhibitors. The hidden potassium load can quietly push blood chemistry into chaos. Then there's the packaging. Many soup cans still use epoxy linings that once relied on BPA. In Europe, regulations have pushed the acceptable daily BPA intake down to almost nothing. Some countries have banned it entirely in food packaging. In other regions, it's still sitting quietly in many cans, even some labeled as BPA-free, which may simply mean swapped with another bisphenol. And it's not just salt and packaging. Canned soups often rely on thickening agents like starches and sugars, phosphate stabilizers, and even hidden allergens. Phosphates in particular are a silent burden on kidneys and bones, especially dangerous for those over 60. Botulism is also a lurking concern. Low-acid soups like beef stew or cream-based options need exact processing conditions to kill off dangerous spores. One mistake in heat or pressure during canning, and the sealed can becomes an incubator for a tasteless, invisible toxin. At a glance, soup looks like the least harmful thing on the shelf. But dig a little deeper, and the recipe often reads like a chemistry experiment that wasn't made for aging bodies. Number 4. Canned chili, hearty, heavy, and hiding hazards. A steaming bowl of chili from a can seems like the perfect solution on a busy night. Protein, beans, flavor, it's fast, filling, and affordable. But behind that convenience, canned chili is one of the riskiest options in the canned food aisle, especially for older adults. It lives in the low acid zone, which makes it fertile ground for botulism if the sterilization process slips. In 2007, a chili product recall made headlines when under-processed cans led to hospitalizations and one of the most serious botulism outbreaks in recent memory. And even when botulism isn't a factor, other risks pile up fast. Start with the salt. A single cup of canned chili can hit 1,000 milligrams of sodium, and most cans hold more than that. For those managing heart issues or high blood pressure, that one bowl might mean blowing past their entire day's limit in a single meal. Then come the additives. Potassium chloride again shows up in reduced sodium varieties, and for aging kidneys or medication-sensitive systems, that can lead to dangerous potassium spikes without warning signs. Phosphate additives are also a problem. They're used to keep the meat in chili tender and moist. But those phosphates don't just vanish. They absorb easily into the bloodstream and place added stress on the kidneys. Over time, they contribute to artery hardening and bone loss, risks that sneak in unnoticed until damage is already done. The can itself doesn't offer much comfort either. Most are lined with epoxy coatings that either still use BPA or chemical substitutes with similar effects. Add the acidic tomato base to the mix and you've got a perfect storm for chemical leaching. What seems like a simple dinner shortcut turns into a layered risk, one that stacks against the body's most vulnerable systems. For older adults, canned chili is less a quick fix and more a gamble with long-term consequences. Number 3. Canned fruit in syrup. Sweet, sticky, and surprisingly risky. Open a can of peaches or fruit cocktail and it looks innocent. Slices of bright fruit floating in syrup? The kind of treat that feels like dessert without the guilt. But what's swimming in that syrup is a cocktail of risks that hit older bodies the hardest. 1 cup of fruit cocktail in heavy syrup delivers over 40 grams of sugar. That's around 11 teaspoons. And that's before dinner even starts. And those light syrup versions? Still loaded. The term light only refers to sugar concentration, not how healthy it is. So instead of 40 grams, you might get 25 to 30. Still a sugar bomb, just with a smaller fuse. Sugar doesn't just spike blood glucose, though that alone is a big concern for anyone with diabetes or prediabetes. It also messes with cholesterol, blood pressure, and the effectiveness of medications like statins or blood thinners. For older adults trying to juggle multiple prescriptions, even small sugar loads can tip the balance. Then there's the issue of additives. That cherry in your fruit cocktail? For decades, it carried FD and C-Red number 3, a food dye now banned in many products due to links with cancer in animal studies. Some brands have switched away from it, others haven't. And we're not done. Recent recalls have shown that canned fruit isn't just a sugar issue. Lead and cadmium, 2 heavy metals with serious long-term health effects, have been found in some canned fruit batches. These metals build up in the body, especially in kidneys and bones, and can lead to memory issues, nerve damage, and weakened bone structure over time. The can lining is also a concern. Most are still epoxy-based. Even BPA-free versions often use similar chemicals like BPS or BPF, which haven't been proven safe. Acidic or sugary contents, like fruit and syrup, can speed up the breakdown of those linings, pulling chemicals into your food with every passing month on the shelf. Canned fruit promises something wholesome and sweet. But for the aging body, it can be a sugar spike, a chemical bath, and a heavy metal dose all in one. Number 2, canned spinach. From superfood to hazardous greens. Spinach should be a nutritional powerhouse, as packed with iron, vitamins, and fiber. But when it comes in a can, that strength fades fast. What pours out isn't crisp, leafy greens. It's a soggy lump in cloudy water with more of a metallic aroma than anything earthy. But what's more alarming is what's hiding inside those limp leaves. Canned spinach is known for being high in cadmium, a heavy metal that spinach absorbs from soil. Unlike pesticides or bacteria, cadmium doesn't wash off or cook away. It stays. And over time it accumulates in bones and kidneys, silently doing damage. Many countries have set limits for cadmium exposure, especially for older adults with kidney concerns. But the problem is, consumers don't see those numbers on the label. And even low doses build up when the food is eaten regularly. Then there's sodium. A single cup of canned spinach can pack more than 700 milligrams. That's a third of the recommended daily intake, gone in a few forkfuls. Even the no-salt added versions often still carry up to 200 milligrams from processing. And again, reduced sodium products might contain potassium chloride instead. a big risk for those on certain blood pressure meds or managing kidney issues. Spinach also contains oxalates, natural compounds that can trigger kidney stones, especially in those with a history of them. Even canned spinach keeps enough oxalates to remain on the high-risk list for stone formers. Vitamin K levels are another challenge. Spinach is loaded with it, which is great, unless someone's on blood thinners like warfarin. Then it becomes a balancing act that must be monitored week after week. The can itself? Just like the others. Epoxy lining, possibly BPA, possibly a substitute with its own risks. And being a low-acid food, spinach is more vulnerable to botulism if the canning process wasn't spot on. It might be tempting to keep a few cans for emergencies, but the frozen version brings all the benefits, without the metals, sodium, or sludge. Number 1. Canned pasta. Childhood in a can, risk in every bite. Nothing screams nostalgia like canned spaghetti or ravioli. Tomato sauce, soft noodles, maybe a few meatballs. It's the ultimate comfort food. But under the red sauce and familiar smell lies one of the most ultra-processed, health-unfriendly meals in the canned aisle. The sodium alone is staggering. 1 cup of canned pasta can hit 740 milligrams. Many cans go well over 1,200. That's nearly the entire day's limit in one quick meal. And there's no rinsing that out like you might with beans. Then comes the sugar. Many canned pastas include added sugar or corn syrup to balance the acidity of the tomatoes. That sweetness isn't just for flavor, it's a hidden calorie bump that hits hard when added to a diet that's already juggling blood sugar. Canned pasta also brings the trifecta of chemical additives: phosphate stabilizers for meat texture, nitrites to preserve color and safety, and bisphenol-based linings that react with the acidic sauce. And yes, tomato-based sauces are highly acidic. That's good for preserving the food, but bad for BPA-based linings, which break down faster in acid environments. Even so-called BPA-free cans have been found to leach other bisphenols with similar hormone-disrupting potential. Processed meats in these pastas also come with a warning. The World Health Organization has classified processed meats as known carcinogens due to the presence of nitrosamines, which form from nitrites during processing and digestion. Lastly, allergens hide in plain sight. Wheat, dairy, soy, egg, and now sesame. All can show up without warning in a single can of pasta. And in older adults with increasing food sensitivities, even one unlisted allergen can lead to unexpected reactions. Now, not all canned foods are out to get you. 2 still stand tall as both safe, shelf-stable, and genuinely good for you when handled right. Safe pick number 2, canned beans, budget-friendly and heart-smart. Canned beans are one of the few shelf-stable foods that consistently deliver both safety and nutrition. They're pressure-cooked during canning, which kills off dangerous bacteria like botulism and makes them sterile until opened. As long as the can is intact, no dents, bulges, or leaks, they're safe. Yes, some versions carry a heavy sodium load, but that's easily fixed. A quick rinse under running water for 10 to 30 seconds can wash away up to half the salt content. And if sodium is still a concern, go for no salt-added varieties. Beans offer protein, fiber, folate, potassium, and iron, all nutrients many older adults struggle to get enough of. They support blood sugar balance, cholesterol control, and gut health, thanks to prebiotic fiber. Even the packaging is improved. Many brands now use BPA-lined linings, meaning BPA wasn't intentionally added during manufacturing. It's not perfect, but it's a move in the right direction. Just store cans somewhere cool, not in the garage during summer, and rotate them regularly. For versatility, safety, and affordability, canned beans are one of the smartest staples on the shelf. Safe pick number 1. Canned tomatoes, acidic, antioxidant-packed, and shelf-stable. Canned tomatoes might just be the safest thing in the pantry. Why? Acidity. Tomatoes are naturally acidic, and that acidity helps prevent the growth of botulism. Most canned tomato products even have citric acid added to ensure a pH below 4.6, the safety cutoff. They're also processed at high heat and sealed containers, making them one of the most reliable shelf-stable foods. And unlike many vegetables, the processing actually improves their nutrition. That deep red pigment? It's lycopene, a powerful antioxidant. And heating tomatoes during canning breaks down their cell walls, making that lycopene more bioavailable. You actually absorb more of it from canned sauce or paste than from a raw tomato slice. Pair it with a bit of olive oil and absorption skyrockets, turning that basic can of tomatoes into a heart-healthy powerhouse. Sodium can be a concern, but again, the answer is simple. Choose no salt added versions and season to taste. Look for low sodium, 140 milligrams or less per serving, or very low sodium, 35 milligrams or less, for the best options. And as with other canned goods, make sure the can is in good condition. No bulging, no leaking, no deep dents near the seams. Canned tomatoes are acidic, sealed, and designed to keep you safe. And with the right label choices, they're also incredibly good for you. If this helped open your eyes to what's really inside your pantry, hit the like button so others can find this video too. And don't forget to subscribe, because next time we'll be diving into the frozen aisle, the hidden truths about meal delivery kits, and what every senior should know before their next grocery trip. Stay informed, stay sharp, stay safe.